It is the Cavs opening night, the start of a new season and the start of great things taking shape right here in Cleveland, a city and team both on the verge of resurgence. Good evening, I'm Danita Harris and thanks for joining us tonight.
And I'm Chris Fletty. In Cleveland, it's our turn.
Yes, it is. Over the next hour, we're going to show you how both the city and the Cavaliers are rising up to meet the challenges. They're both in position to do some really great things.
They certainly are. Of course, LeBron coming back home to play for the Cavaliers. Cleveland wins a Republican National Convention. So many good things going on here in Cleveland. The future looks awfully bright. So for the next hour, we'll examine all of this.
We're going to talk about the bright spots. We'll examine the obstacles and the direction that both the Cavs and the city need to go to be successful. Sports Director Andy Baskin, he's inside the queue right now, waiting for the tip-off at 8 o'clock. Andy, this is a brand new team.
Boy, I got to tell you, this is really exciting to be in here tonight. I can only imagine what this piece of property I'm standing on is probably worth to a ticket holder tonight, thousands of dollars. We do want to show you some of the cool things that are going on inside the queue tonight, and you've got to see the Humongatron. This thing is unbelievable. It will take your breath away when you walk inside. It is the largest HD scoreboard in the arena. And by the way, Usher will sing tonight's national anthem. New team videos, pyrotechnics, all for the fan experience. But the biggest happening here tonight, a brand new team, LeBron James. It will lead it, and let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup. Anderson Varejao will start at center. He's a 10-year veteran, and he beat out Tristan Thompson for the spot. Kevin Love was traded here. Dion Waiters is locked in as a starting shooting guard. Waiters averaged 16 points a game last year. Kyrie Irving comes back at the point guard. His ability to mesh with LeBron James is going to be amazing this year, and LeBron James, of course. Now, when the Cavaliers step on the court, they'll be wearing their new uniforms here tonight. It's their alternate one. It's wine and gold. It's be a little bit blue tonight as well. Also, printed on the hem of the jersey, it says upside down so they can remember, all for one, one for all. What an amazing night it's going to be here. Coming up a little bit later, we're going to get some of the fan perspective and maybe have a little bit of a celebrity with us here on the floor coming up in just a little bit. Let's send it back outside to you guys. Tip-off is just after 8 o'clock.
All right, can't wait. Andy, thanks a lot. You know, Danita, this summer when LeBron announced he was coming back home to play for the Cavaliers, well, Cleveland, this city went wild.
It certainly did, Chris. You know, Cleveland, it's a blue-collar town. It's a working-class town. We even put a quote from LeBron's coming home letter on the Medical Mutual banner right on the side of our building on 30th and Euclid. It reads, in Northeast Ohio, nothing is given, everything is earned. And that's the image the Cavs are putting forth. This team and this city are connected. Take a look. This is the Cavs preseason video. It sports classic Cleveland skyline views with shots of players mixed in. It's set to Young Jeezy's song, I Put On For My City. Woo!
He's back. He's back.
And it was LeBron's announcement he was coming home that put a spark in this city.
Stuff like this doesn't happen to Cleveland, so the best player in the world coming back home, it's awesome.
LeBron's return, simply unprecedented. He's the NBA's most complete player, a must-see attraction who's now opening doors for the Cavs.
Well, I can tell you this, that the limitations of the system just expanded exponentially. How he fits in, yeah, I think he's obviously, probably the most versatile player in the world, so I would imagine that he'll help us determine what kind of system we're going to play.
Even team owner Dan Gilbert, who was at odds with LeBron when he left, has made peace with him and knows LeBron can help lead this city to greater things.
I'm very happy for people in Cleveland more than anything because that's the hardest working town you're going to find, and they need hope and they need optimism, and you know, not just with us, of course, but with the Cleveland Browns now and with the convention coming in town, and just there's good things happening, and no city deserves it more than them.
And Danita, there's certainly good things happening. Well, the Cavs are putting a brand new team on the court tonight. Cleveland is also really becoming a brand new city in a way.
It certainly is, Chris. We're talking about new housing, new hotels, new convention center, and with the Republican National Committee coming to our city, Cleveland wants to put its best foot forward. So Joe Paganakis is going to join us now. And Joe, we want to know, what should people who do not live in Cleveland, what should they know about our great city?
Well, Danita, Chris, they definitely want to get the word out. Come to Cleveland and you're going to love what you see. However, the perception still is that Cleveland, quite frankly, still has a way to go.
Downtown Cleveland, it's here.
It's amazing to think that there's over $3 billion worth of development that is happening in downtown Cleveland right now.
It's the image of Cleveland now being projected across the country and around the world in videos like this one, put together by the Downtown Cleveland Alliance, promoted by the Cleveland Plus regional marketing campaign and governed by the Greater Cleveland Partnership and its CEO Joe Roman, who says our city has shed its old negative image. Roman says the latest research shows the perception of Cleveland among people living in other major cities is now more of a neutral feeling.
Where the river burned, we now have 250 units of housing going up, retail, hotel, and new office. So I'd say we're turning that corner.
Roman says the Greater Cleveland Partnership is working voraciously to take full advantage of the return of LeBron James and the 2016 Republican National Convention to further advance Cleveland's image resurgence, using targeted media to the industries that are most likely to bring jobs and development to our area.
What we have to do is show people why making an investment here can be good for them, and that's what's happening throughout our region.
Meanwhile, Candy Klaus with the Cleveland State Center for Economic Development says image messages must be broadened to highlight a wider variety of Northeast Ohio assets in order to support continued growth in tourism and development.
Because if you ask someone who hasn't been to Cleveland, they might be able to say, oh yeah, they have the Cleveland Clinic and the Rock Hall. But the city is so much more than that. So to be able to show off things like the West Side Market or Michael Simon's restaurants, you know, things that make us a little more unique.
And local economic experts say another great way to get the word out about our region and our wonderful city and all its attributes is for each and every one of us to take personal responsibility for getting the word out. And there's a number of great ways you can get the job done.
This can be done through social media. You know, the staycationing in Northeast Ohio. We stay here and you take a bunch of photos on your staycation, post them to social media, and people ask where you were, and you say, I was home. I was in Cleveland.
I was here in 1990, and there's been quite a big turnaround since that time.
And visitors to Cleveland like David Higginbotham see the change, and he's willing to report it.
You can share everything on social media. I mean, why not the good stuff?
It's the best way to do it,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And the Greater Cleveland Partnership believes its image campaign through Cleveland Plus is indeed working. Since 2007, they believe the campaign has brought in 86 new companies and 7,400 new jobs. Reporting live just outside Quicken Loans Arena, I'm troubleshooter Joe Paganakis.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. And when we come back, you know, there are a lot of new and great things that are happening in our city, but we're also experiencing some growing pains. We'll examine that.
Plus, throughout the next 45 or 50 minutes or so, you know, everyone has an opinion. So, question now, what will it take for this team to win?
It won't hurt to have more presence in the middle, but overall, we have a good, pretty much well-balanced talent team.
Cleveland, it's our turn. It's time to make some noise.
And Danita, we certainly are. You know, new housing, new business, but with growth comes its own set of problems.
Chief Investor Ron Regan joins us now. And you know, Ron, it's great to be a cheerleader for everything that's happening, but there are some realities to our city that we have to deal with.
Well, there's no question there's a great deal of momentum, but we found with all this growth also come challenges. From the Flats to Ohio City and Tremont to downtown.
We're now finding that developers for the first time are calling us, and that wasn't true 5 years ago.
Joe Marinucci's president of the Downtown Cleveland Alliance.
I'd be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about the momentum being created by LeBron coming back to downtown Cleveland. And him coming home, him rejoining the Cavaliers, is on the heels of the RNC decision to bring the 2016 convention to Cleveland, has really, again, created a lot of energy, a lot of momentum.
A lot of momentum, but we found growth actually began 4 years ago. Since then, we've tracked $5.5 billion worth, including rebuilding the Flats and a new convention center hotel. Downtown housing, 98% occupied. 13,000 now live downtown. Even commercial office space is being filled. Vacancy rates dropping from 23 to 18%.
There's absolutely been a success story here.
Across the river in Ohio City, there's more growth.
There's been a lot of great growth that's taken place in the neighborhood, but something that we're really excited about is that really now seems to be transitioning into the housing, which is really important.
New housing's going up, and there's a demand for another 1,500 units. Plus, new businesses are moving in. Mitchell's Ice Cream among 70 over the last 5 years, altogether bringing another $200 million worth of investment. Nearby Tremont's also growing.
We were one of the more stable neighborhoods during the recession and have built off of that to the point where now we have over $100 million of planned development.
It's well known for some of the best restaurants in Cleveland, but now has ambitious plans to expand.
Our goals are really to move this core area of Professor Avenue and Lincoln Park block by block, which was really defined in our strategic plan, and get the areas of Scranton Road and Duck Island to experience the same type of rebirth.
But there's also growing pains. These neighborhoods are all represented by Councilman Joe Simperman.
The problem is that a lot of things downtown are growing quicker because there's more and more people living there and the infrastructure is running to catch up. In Ohio City and Tremont, the problems tend to be parking.
Simperman estimates 25 streets in his ward need repaving. But overall, crime is down.
We have crime in all of our neighborhoods. I will tell you that it is vastly different now because there's more people. You know, criminals don't want to go where there's a lot of activity. People think that they do, but I will tell you the crime in Tremont and Ohio City in the 2nd District has gone down and continues to do so.
Still, stolen cars are near the top of the list. Since January, 105 downtown compared with 141 all last year, 93 in Tremont, 116 last year, and 95 in Ohio City, almost as many as all of 2013. And Councilman Simperman at least believes there's safety in numbers. The more people downtown, the safer it'll be. Chris, Danita?
All right, thank you very much, Ron. Investigator Sarah Buttison joins us now.
Yeah, a lot of the attention over the next few years will center on the downtown area as Cleveland gets ready to host the Republican National Convention.
But Sarah, not everyone is happy about that.
Danita and Chris, tonight everybody is excited. Everybody wants downtown and businesses like here at the Hairy Buffalo to thrive.
There was another guy who got shot in the leg here, and a few hours later, there was another person that got shot.
Mo Whitty owns Gas USA on East 124th Street in Cleveland.
It's dangerous around here. I mean, I wouldn't recommend anybody leaving their house at night out here.
Mo says one Saturday night in early October, there were 3 shootings right outside his gas station. In fact, his surveillance cameras captured video of one of the accused shooters buying a sandwich just before the crime was committed.
But Mo says he rarely sees police patrols.
I don't see them. I don't see them driving around.
We've got to make a concerted effort to say to the residents here, like in the East Glenville neighborhood, that you're important too.
Councilman Mike Polensek says he hears similar concerns all the time. Residents tell him Cleveland's neighborhoods need attention. They complain abandoned homes are left in disrepair. It takes forever to fix potholes. And like Mo said, there's too few police.
You can't have the tale of two cities.
Polensek says the city's administration is too focused on developing downtown.
And right now I can tell you in my own gut that I deal with this every day. The balance is not there. I know it and I feel it and I hear it.
When you start to say that we're going to do it from downtown and hope it spreads to the outlying areas, it just doesn't work that way.
Councilman Zach Reed says residents in his ward asked the city for $50,000 to fix up Mill Creek Falls Family Park on Tioga and Warner. It's been months and no answer.
Why is it that the people got to go through hell and high water to get a park in their neighborhood improved?
Downtown is undergoing its largest renovation in decades. By 2016, Public Square will transform from this to this. About $5 million in improvements have already been made to the malls. A pedestrian bridge will connect Mall C to the lakefront.
It's something that we can't afford not to do here.
Jeremy Paris heads the Group Plan Commission, the nonprofit overseeing the projects.
I reject the notion we have to make these tough choices. Can we only fill the potholes that we know need to be filled and not do great things? I think we can do both.
The pedestrian bridge will cost taxpayers $25 million, with $10 million coming from the city, $10 million from Cuyahoga County, and $5 million from the state. Public Square will cost $32 million. The city will contribute $6 to $9 million by redirecting taxes paid on the Higbee building. The Northeast Ohio Sewer District has donated $3 million. The rest will come from the private sector.
The vast majority of our focus has been in the neighborhoods of the city of Cleveland.
City officials told News Channel 5 investigators neighborhoods have not been neglected. Chief of Regional Development Ed Ribka says that's where 93% of the city's investment dollars are spent. And Public Safety Director Michael McGrath says there are enough police officers to protect the public.
Are we going to be perfect? No. But I do believe that the men and women in this division work very, very hard to make these safe neighborhoods.
Can I help you?
Mo disagrees. He says he had no choice but to hire off-duty police officers to watch his store at night.
Please, get some cops out here, please.
We wanted to talk to Mayor Frank Jackson for our story to get his response to residents' concerns and about all the changes downtown, but he declined our request. On your side, I'm investigator Sarah Buttison, News Channel 5.
Well, still to come, just around the corner from where we are, fans enjoying free event outside the queue, featuring musical guests and their food trucks serving us some really great dishes. Up next, what's good to eat inside the queue.
Plus, how all the businesses outside the queue hope to cash in on the Cavs.
I've always been of the mindset anyway, though, that you have starters and you have second starters, and that's what makes teams good.
Sound check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
She can't hear me at all.
Can you hear me? All right. Yeah, we're doing 301, the backpack pick, and then to John.
No. No backpack pick. Okay, that's what we need to know.
Yeah. Well, this is what business
All right,
is.
I'll ad-lib it. You just keep it. I'll just do. This is still happening, but it's just a different shot.
Okay.
Are you coming out to a live shot of some? Okay. I'm confused.
And this is what businesses downtown want to see all season long, a packed house at the Q all season. Of course, the packed house means plenty of people downtown, plenty of businesses changing hands, and a lot of businesses, restaurants, and bars down here.
That's right, and News Channel 5's John Kosick is now going to give us a look at LeBronomy.
Winning is an attitude, and what happens in this building will have a direct impact on what happens in these, and they know it.
I think you can feel the excitement on East 4th Street where they're already talking about adding hours and adding staff. The hotels also are talking about gearing up and adding more staff.
Count CLE Clothing among them.
I'm basically treating it like it's the holiday season.
The return of LeBron James means on average the Cavs will draw 3,233 fans more a night this year versus last. A number that will be even greater during those cold and snowy winter months when in the past the Cavs were out of it and the fans wouldn't come out in it.
Last year, because it was such a cold winter and the decreased attendance at the games, we were closing early. We were closing at 7 o'clock. This year, we're not going to do that.
While the bars didn't close early, they weren't exactly packed with fans wishing to relive a 40-point loss to the Kings. A victory, though, is something to be savored and celebrated, something they're anticipating with the Cavs and already seeing with the Browns.
People coming in here, the attitude, the spirits it was a different machine than I'm used to. I'm used to the angry, drunken depression. But it's nice to see some kind of life coming back out of the sports team.
It's a passion the Horseshoe Casino is looking to capitalize on. The casino is connected to the Q through its walkway and parking garage, and the just opened Tag Bar on the casino end of that walkway offers fans a place to continue their night, or if they didn't land tickets, spend their night.
During every Cavs game, we're going to have a Cavs watch party, and we'll have drink specials, and some nights we'll be giving away various things, and so we're hoping to keep it exciting throughout the whole season.
And as we learned from LeBron's first stint here, the season won't end in April, but continue into May and hopefully June with the playoffs, all of which makes it difficult to put a dollar figure on the decision 2.0.
I've heard everywhere from $50 million to $500 million in terms of impact on the economy. I think what we know is that we're going to see more people downtown, we're going to see more people in our hotels, and we're just going to see the energy level in downtown Cleveland taken to a whole different level.
And we're experiencing that something special in downtown Cleveland tonight. People don't have tickets for the game, but coming down just to be a part of it, to be a part of something special. And that's what we're going to see all season long, and that's what they're hoping for in downtown Cleveland, the businesses. A lot of these people spending money. Reporting live in downtown Cleveland, John Kosick, News Channel 5.
All right, thank you very much, John. Chris, there's nothing like seeing the Cavs play live, and while you're watching the game, you want some really good food, and there's some great food inside the Q. You have your typical nachos, your popcorn, and your beer.
But Dina, there's also some specialty places as well, like Michael Simon's B-Spot, Jonathan Sawyer's Seesaw Pretzel, and Dunkin' Donuts, just to name a few.
Now, Leon Bibb joins us. You had the great assignment, Leon, of checking out all the wonderful things the Q has to offer, and they have everything for everybody.
How right you are about that one. I want you to know that. You mentioned food and you really touched my heart. Inside the Q, there is a vegetarian place. There is a gluten-free place, food that you can get. There's even a place only for your sweet tooth. And then there is Roccos and Rocco Whalen.
On the floor of the Q, action is fast. Pass, shot, score.
Blended in the entertainment recipe is the crowd. But away from where the ball bounces is a different action. Important too.
Rocking and rolling.
Behind the counter at Roccos at the Q, owner and chef Rocco Whalen keeps his team pumped up. While the Cavs are high velocity on the court, hungry fans always wonder, what do you got for dinner?
I've got tacos and nachos and crab cakes this year.
Rocco sets the table for his team. Center court, he keeps the patter going, working tacos and nachos. With thousands of fans in the stands, Rocco Whalen knows pretty soon he will face their full court press.
Doors open at 6, be ready to go by 7, and halftime is going to be backbreaking because halftime is when, significant amount of the bowl comes out for a refreshment, and that's what we're here to do.
By age 6, Whalen dabbled in his mother's kitchen. By 14, hired help in a restaurant, then culinary school. Now he owns a line of restaurants, including the operation at the Q. Peanuts and popcorn are still a go at the ball game, but Rocco has pushed sports food more high-end.
It's a crispy fried potato that we cut to order on a machine gun type thing, and it gets fried crispy and lacquered with a fondue and some crispy bacon and some scallions, and or you could go with a taco of any variety. The tacos are great, they're fresh, they're pressed to order.
The Cavs are working up an appetite, but thousands of fans' appetites need feeds too. So Coach Rocco presses his team to stay in the game.
And I want to run through some tacos just so him and I can bounce back maybe some ideas, maybe make some tweaks.
There's an old phrase, too many cooks in the kitchen will spoil the broth. It's true, and Rocco Whalen knows that. In this outlet, there are a lot of people preparing the food, but there's only one recipe and only one cook. And you know who that is. Good eating, served with a heaping helping of personality. Coach Rocco Whalen has a game plan.
Chicken tacos, spicy, little cheese, enjoy.
At the Q, bon appetit. I'm Leon Bibb, News Channel 5.
All right, thank you very much, Leon.
Well, much more to come. Cleveland, it's our turn.
The main thing, the beauty of the game is to work together.
It's time for new beginnings here in Cleveland.
LeBron is back.
He's back. He's back.
We have a new team. There's new energy in the air.
Cleveland's thriving, and of course he wants to be back here.
Very excited. It's big for Cleveland. It's big for the Cavs.
Cleveland, it's our turn.
And welcome back to Cleveland. It's our turn. The Cavs getting ready to tip off the season. Right now, behind us in the queue, thousands of fans inside the arena getting ready to start a new season.
Oh, yes, it's all new. And really, Chris, the season started in July when LeBron James announced that he was coming home. And then other pieces of the Cavs puzzle were added. We have Kevin Love now. We've got Sean Marion, Mike Miller, and James Jones.
Yeah, but as our Nick Foley reports, it's really just a kid from Akron who's so pivotal to this team.
I'm learning a totally different system with a new coach, with new guys around besides Andy, so it's different.
That's LeBron James on the first day of practice. While LeBron is back, this team, these players, it's all new. But what they all want is to win.
We all want the same things out of life. We all have a common goal, and we wouldn't be here if we didn't.
But make no mistake, LeBron sets the tone.
So he's a guy that on and off the floor you can learn a lot from, and it goes with the old saying, greatness surrounds itself with greatness. So I'm just trying to, he lifts everybody up, makes his teammates better, and I'm just, continuing to try to be at that level.
LeBron has come a long way since his early days playing basketball in Akron. His alma mater, Akron St. Vincent St. Mary High School, when then current NBA players would come to Ohio to watch him play.
Saw the Sports Illustrated, talked to a few people about him. He's a good player. He has an excellent game at this level. He probably could do some damage on the next level too.
The bulletin board in the apartment complex where LeBron lived with his mom kept residents updated on his games. The James's mailbox overflowed with college letters. He was the nation's top recruit, and LeBron did consider college.
Got Ohio State, Florida, North Carolina, of course Duke, and Louisville. In my 5.
His bedroom filled with posters of his 5 favorite players.
A lot of players on my wall I've met. That poster right there, my Adidas poster, they sent it to me. And them all the players who's with Adidas, went to the NBA, and maybe someday it might be me. We have to see then.
The Cavs made LeBron the #1 pick the year he graduated. Back then, his mom had this advice for him.
I've always taught him to just be himself. Don't change. When I say don't change, don't get conceited. Don't think that you're better than others. Even if you are in some areas, it's not necessary to express that all the time.
The rest, Nick Foley, News Channel 5.
Wow, so amazing to see such a young LeBron. And now LeBron in December will be the big 3-0. He's turning 30 years old. He and his wife Savannah just welcomed a brand new baby girl into their world. So we want to say a big congratulations to them. Her name is Zuri. Such a nice name.
Yeah, it is certainly. That's great for LeBron and his family. LeBron certainly has come a long way, and so has Cleveland. The city has really grown by leaps and bounds. So the question now, where are we headed? That's the question I asked David Gilbert, the president and CEO of Destination Cleveland. David, what do you feel some of the top new projects here are in Cleveland?
Well, over about a 5-year period of time, there's over $2 billion in visitor-related infrastructure that's been built. 9 new hotels between downtown and University Circle, the new convention center, Global Center, the casino, Museum of Contemporary Art, Cleveland Museum of Art, major expansion. It is unbelievable the amount of development, and it really is all working together to vastly grow our travel and tourism industry.
We have come such a long way in really a short amount of time. Yeah. Where do we go from here? Say in 5 years out, David, where do you see Cleveland?
Well, one of the big changes that we're really working on, and it's a combination of a number of things, is changing the entire narrative of our city. Our research showed that the negative reaction people have to the word Cleveland, and that really is changing. So when you see not only what's happening here with LeBron James and sports, but the Republican convention, other major things, that really is making a difference. I also think very importantly, I think one of the biggest changes, what Clevelanders think of themselves. And we've now seen from research how that translates into more people moving here, how that translates into more people locating their businesses here, coming here to work. So it can have a real systemic, long-standing change.
So it's not just 5 years, and we're talking 10 years out. I mean, this is really a long-term
commitment and long-term issue.
And in fact, I think if 5 years from now, if we look back and say, "Boy, wasn't this a cool couple of years in Cleveland, or a great week we had with the RNC," we're going to have absolutely failed. We have to be looking back 5 and 10 years down the road, seeing this time as a tipping point for Cleveland to really change the malaise that it's been in for really 4 decades.
And this opportunity, I think most cities can only dream about. You've got LeBron coming back. The Cavs, of course, championship contenders, so many experts. And you have the RNC here.
Yes.
I mean, this is, you couldn't have dreamt up a better situation.
Absolutely, and we can't blow it. This is better than a once-in-a-generation opportunity. But again, we can't look at it as isolated incidents. RNC, we're going to have 15,000 credentialed media, 4 times than what comes to a Super Bowl. What do we do with that to make sure that they show the world who we really are as a community?
Real quickly, we do have issues we have to overcome. How do we do that?
Well, look, every big city has issues, and nothing in Cleveland is perfect. But we're a great community, we have great people, and what we have to do is we have to believe in ourselves that we can solve these problems. And that's a major first step. I think Cleveland has not been there. We've been a can't-do kind of city, and that's changing.
Excellent. It's an exciting time. David, thanks a lot.
Chris, thanks.
Keep up the
Appreciate
great
it.
work. Thanks.
Thank you.
And coming up, giving back. We'll take a look at how the Cavs help out the community.
Plus, how LeBron's mission is changing the lives of kids forever.
I like the new coach. I think it's a good improvement for the team to adapt to a new environment, for a new coach, get better.
.501. Okay. So just do the first paragraph, opening that against the Knicks.
That's all you. Oh, you're only doing the first paragraph. Well, you have this anyway. So yeah.
Two big things tonight. We need 2 people. We need 2 photographers in that queue, and we needed security out here tonight.
In a better position. This is not the game. You know the DJ. This is nowhere in the world, man. Woo!
Cavs opening night, about a half hour to tip off at home here against the New York Knicks. You know, Danina, Cavs, of course, do a lot of good work on the court, but off the court as well. They do some terrific work.
Yes, they do a lot of meaningful work because for them, it's all about giving back to their community. Let me show you.
Penetration and pitch for that hot man. Irving again!
Fans go crazy when the Cavs score big on the court, but their star power goes beyond dunks and three-pointers. The Cavaliers organization is committed to their community. Colleen Garrity makes sure that commitment stays strong.
The request level has definitely gone up since LeBron's return, which we're really grateful for.
Garrity says the players make her job easy because they enjoy giving back to the community, especially events involving children.
You can tell that they think back to the time when they were a child, and if they had had an opportunity to meet a professional athlete, what that would have meant to them.
Their programs fall under the areas of education, health and wellness, youth and family services, and volunteerism. Read to Achieve is a long-standing program that's helped thousands of kids.
It's really designed to encourage kids to read regularly and to engage their parents or guardians in that process.
The legacy programs are special projects designed to leave a lasting impact in the community.
We've been able to refurbish rooms in the hospital, Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital and at Ronald McDonald House. We've built basketball courts at nonprofit agencies, but it's really a chance to leave a legacy for the members in that community to have for hopefully forever.
Fit as a Pro focuses on whole body wellness. In addition to encouraging kids to exercise,
we're talking about stress and how that can affect you, and we've done some yoga events with kids and some breathing exercises to try to teach them how to calm down when their sort of energy gets really high in the classroom.
And speaking of energy,
we love the energy surrounding this team and this community right now, and it's something that we're so grateful for and something we want to be able to give back.
And LeBron James is all about giving back. He makes a huge difference in children's lives through the LeBron James Family Foundation.
Chris, he's already given $7 million to Akron kids so that they can get a better education. Here's Bob Jones.
These kids have the biggest dreams in the world.
At LeBron James's welcome home party last August,
This is my favorite day of the year because of these kids.
the King first talked about the mission of his foundation and helping kids before fielding questions about the mission of bringing a title to Cleveland. Sixth grader Maya Massey is one of about 800 Akron kids benefiting from LeBron's generosity and advice.
Like, he's a role model.
She's part of the Wheels for Education and the Akron I Promise Network, program sponsored by the LeBron James Family Foundation. The goals: encourage struggling learners from third graders forward to achieve academically while making several promises.
I promise to do all of my work, to go to school, to be kind to others,
and ultimately improve graduation rates.
Everything that the foundation does is driven by him, and he just loves the work that he does. He loves kids.
Executive Director Michelle Campbell says LeBron backs up his words with his pocketbook, buying bicycles for the kids, school uniforms, and 750 tablets so the students can learn through technology. And many of them received an extra bonus, Beats Pill speakers.
The reality is there were a lot of people in this community that helped make him the person he is today, and he surely hasn't forgotten that.
But Campbell believes the biggest gift LeBron delivers is hope, that the kids can become whatever they want to be.
and I sure would like some sweet company, and I'm leaving tomorrow, what do you say?
In Maya's case, her dream is to become a singer.
Because if you give up, you'll never get anywhere in life. You gotta keep going.
And so she does, firmly believing she's just another kid from Akron, Ohio, ready for great things.
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Bob Jones, News Channel 5.
Oh, wow, she has such a beautiful voice.
She does. That foundation does such great work.
All right, we'll be back, Cleveland. It's our turn.
These fans, they know the game of basketball, they love the game of basketball, and they're going to live and die for their team. And for us as players, we just try to play the game the right way and just give them something to choose.
What's that?
Mr. Wheaties?
Okay, and then
what is she saying?
Minute 15.
We're gonna.
His package. Okay, so we're talking for a minute 15.
Minute 15 and toss to my camp.
Yep. All right, are you guys going inside? I'm not. No. You are? You have tickets? Yeah. Awesome.
You're going to the game, right?
Nancy? Okay.
It's about to start.
It is about to start.
It's about to start. You going to the game?
Hey, is Mike strictly a package, right, Ann? We're tossing those package. Got it. Right. Got it.
So you want to start?
Yeah, welcome back. You know, this is... And welcome back to Cleveland. It's our turn. Okay, the show may be ready to start in a few minutes inside the queue, but what a show outside here as well.
The party's already here. We're here with a true Cavs fan. This is Austin. Tell me about your Wheaties costume.
He came back in the city. I had to rep for him. We want him back on the Wheaties box. The energy is crazy in the city. We love it. We welcome him back. It's all right. We're going to have a good time this year. We're going to have fun. I love it. Energy down here is great. Everybody make noise. Everybody make noise. All right.
Awesome. And Nancy here, you're going inside to see the game, your first Cavaliers game. How excited are you?
I'm very excited. What better way to represent Cleveland is to come out and support our team. Way to go.
Yeah, guys, what about the energy we're seeing here outside the queue all afternoon, all evening?
Totally nonstop. All day long, the energy is great. Everyone's positive. I got high fives everywhere. It's great. I love this energy. We got to carry it forward. Let's go.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. You know what's funny? We have Usher music playing in the background. Usher is getting ready to sing the national anthem inside the queue to get the game started.
He is, yeah.
Yes.
Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot. Have fun.
All right.
All right, let's go back inside now, check in with Mike Cairns. He talks X's and O's of basketball analyst Brad Sellers.
How long do you think it's going to take, first of all, for this team to gel with the big three and then Marion and all the pieces they've added?
Well, first of all, let's be clear. This thing is a serious upgrade from last year. The issue is going to be how well it comes together and how timely that does, and it's going to take some time. But this thing is like a crescendo. It should build up over time. The trick is not to try to win it in November, but to be in the thick of things when April and May come around.
Who is the big key to the big three? And maybe people might be a little surprised by your answer, but who do you think is really the key to this thing?
Well, I think one that obviously that you got to hope that all three stay healthy. Secondly, making sure that Kyrie is able to be there for maximum number of games. But I think the real key out there is Dion Waiters. I think he's the guy that his play lights a fire under the rest of the three. I mean, listen, I've been around this town for a long time. I haven't seen this much firepower in the Cavalier uniform in a very long time. And so I'm like most people out here. I'm really anticipating and really waiting for this thing to actually begin.
Our championship bust expectations, I guess championship, either we're winning it or bust. Are they realistic? Should fans be thinking we're winning the championship or nothing?
Well, listen, I think that by just the sheer number of people we acquired during the offseason, I think expectations, the euphoria of being really considered one of the top teams is high. But this league it's a very strong league. So a lot of things have to fall in place. Obviously, you don't want to have any injuries, and you want to make sure things work out well. But this thing is built for time. To say that you're going to go from from out of the playoffs to the top team in this league is going to be difficult. But it's going to be exciting to be in the hunt.
Can David Blatt handle all this firepower, as you put it, in his first year in the NBA? And I know he's got a great track record over in Europe and with Russia and so on, but you haven't seen anything like this.
I'm fortunate. In my overseas stint, I had a chance to play against Coach Blatt, and I think he's got the right temperament for this job. I look forward to it. I think that he's going to represent not only himself, but this organization in the manner that it needs to be represented. And I look forward to it. I mean, it's a great time to be in this city.
Where do you see this team win total, ballpark?
I would think that the pundits would have you 50+ over. So I'm not going to dispute that, but you want to make sure that this team is well positioned for a playoff run. Obviously, I think the expectation is that this city's going to be in the playoffs and come springtime, and so that's where we're going to work from there. And then at that point, it becomes matchups and who's hot and who's not.
Our NBA analyst Brad Sellers, thanks for coming in. It's good to see you. Looking forward to a big season.
Yes, we are indeed starting tonight. Tip-off probably about 15 minutes or so away, Dee.
All right, the party has already started. We'll have some final thoughts when we come back.
We put together a team and a coaching staff, and our front office has worked very hard to certainly put us in a position to compete at all levels.
It's an exciting time to be here in Cleveland. The Cavs putting a new team on the floor.
Yeah, and that excitement really spilling over into the city as well. A city, well, it's really coming alive. And not just the Cavaliers, a rebirth, but also the city of Cleveland showing rebirth as well.
So we want to thank you for tuning in tonight and joining us. And remember, Cleveland, it's our turn.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight on News Channel 5 at 11. Good night.